I have been thinking a lot about how to make things easier, difficult, how sometimes you just lose, all this like train of thought that has to do with life just being very difficult. And I've kind of come to the conclusion to cut out the shortcuts, or at least the attempts of shortcutting things. And I think most of the shortcuts that I have in my life are digital, which is tough for me because I'm just very nerdy in the digital sense. I like everything like in computers and things like that. I always have. However, I was listening to a podcast by Art of Manliness. If you guys need the link, let me know. I'll see if I can find it. But there was a guest on it, and he was talking about digital world versus like the real world, and how there's a difference between an instrument and a device, or an instrument and a tool. I'm not really sure exactly the wording he used, but I like that there's a differentiator between an instrument, something that you use to grow, to expand, to become more, and express and utilize a part of you to become more. Something that you can kind of play with and you become all encompassed with. That doesn't give you 100% positive feedback. It's something that kind of takes some work. And obviously you can think of it like a guitar or any musical instrument. But on the other hand, you can take something like your phone, which is a device, and that doesn't really leave you feeling refreshed, better off, like you've grown or anything. It's this device. It's something that's not really helping you. And you can actually make your devices a little bit more like instruments, like an instrument panel or cluster in your life, in the cockpit of your life, by trying to keep it from a set location. So what he was kind of saying is like, remove these apps that are device-like, right? So you keep the things that are more instruments, like a GPS, messages, like you could say the bare essential, very minimalist ways, but that's not minimalist because you can still have other things like, some kind of like a sunset app or whatever, right? So you have these instruments like it's a cockpit for your life and trying to get out so you're not locked into one location like what Instagram or TikTok would do, right? So I've been thinking about that, and I like the idea of what an instrument does is it kind of makes your life challenged and you grow through that challenge, which is how men generally grow. People grow that way, but specifically men. And I feel like there's this part of me that's going to start attempting and trying for a harder, more difficult life and kind of sucking it up, as I say, kind of dialing it back to more way, way back traditional ways of living for men. And I think I'm going to be better off. There's no doubt about it. Like getting away from a set location behind a screen, computer, or any kind of thing like that kind of keeps me still, and use these instruments. And if I am still like a musical instrument, I'm growing. I'm all encompassed, and I finish, and when I'm done, I feel better. And this idea of difficulty, seeking difficulty, trying to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, start going back to the gym again. Oh, I don't want to go today. You kind of just go through the motions, and you get really good practicing at it. You can start small scale, a little bit colder showers, maybe not cold showers, but a little colder, and then a little colder, and a little colder, things like that. Overall, just tiny difficulties. Oh, there's something in the sink that needs to be dishwashed or cleaned, clean it right away. Takes like 2 minutes or 1 minute. That'd be a perfect opportunity to exercise challenge and that little bit of like kind of grit. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm a little bit obsessed with. And I gotta say, even when I do something small, like, oh, I should go out. So I just went out, explored a park that was a disc golf course, new in this area that I moved in. And guess what? I feel fantastic. So it works. It always works. So it's just a matter of just doing it, practicing, and keeping it on top of your mind until it becomes who you are or a habit, and then it's who you are. But that's all today. Cheers.